Hello everybody, thanks for watching this video. Last night I had a dream that I'm just like, somebody needs to hear this. I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody needs to hear this dream. It's kind of a longer dream than normal. Like, this dream was pretty long. And just like, all the dreams I get from God are truly a blessing. I'm just a normal 19-year-old that happens to get dreams from God. And this one was just, this one was crazy, and like somebody, I don't know who, but like needs to hear the message that God gave me in my dream last night. And I'm just like, I don't know who needs to hear it, but somebody needs to hear it. So I don't know if whoever's watching this is struggling maybe with money, or like maybe they're struggling, like they have too much money and they're almost being greedy with it. I don't know. But that's what the dream I had last night was about. It was about having too much money and not giving. And it was also about not having enough money and not, like you don't feel okay asking people that are rich for money, is what I'm saying. That's kind of what the dream last night was about. Like, you need help. Like, you're struggling, like you don't have enough money and you need help, but you're afraid to ask people that have money for help. That's kind of what the dream was about last night. It was being sad about not having enough money, but afraid to ask people that do for money, or having too much money, but being greedy with it and wanting to hoard it all for yourself. That's kind of what the dream I had last night was about. So I don't know who is supposed to see this video, who it is meant for, but I hope it gets to whoever needs to hear this dream. Because this one was a powerful dream. And yes, I know my hair is kind of crazy today. I don't know, I just like recently woke up not too long ago, got dressed, and I was like, let's make this video. But yeah, my hair is just like crazy. But yeah, let's get into the dream. So in the dream, there was this guy, just a random person, I guess. And he was in his house, and he was like asleep, and he had this dream. Yes, it was a dream inside a dream. And this guy has this dream. So before I tell you the dream, in my dream, it was like almost Christmas time. I don't know why. But in my dream, like the whole dream, it was like almost Christmas time. And I don't celebrate Christmas because the Bible clearly tells us that Christmas is wrong and we're not supposed to do it. So I don't do Christmas. But in my dream, this guy had a dream that it was Christmas time. And like I said, in my dream, for some reason, it was like almost Christmas, which we're not even close to Christmas. It's literally March. So Christmas is like far, far away. So yeah, Christmas is like far, far away. So it'd be really weird I would dream about it, especially when I don't even celebrate Christmas. I don't. I do Hanukkah, which is a little different than Christmas. And on Hanukkah, you're not really supposed to give gifts. Like, you can if you want to, but you're not really supposed to. Like, if you want to, you can give someone a gift. Like, it's not a crime or anything. But Hanukkah is more about spending time with your family and being thankful for the people you have. For being thankful for the people that are still with you today. It's more like that. And it's more about God. Like, you're supposed to, like, just be like, thank God for, like, everything that you have. Like, it's more like that. And anyway, so like I was saying, he was dreaming, and he dreamt that it was Christmas, and he was like dressed up as Santa Claus, and he was going around giving everybody gifts, and he was just like so happy about it. But it was really weird because in the dream he was like giving his own stuff away. Instead of having like fancy gifts and everything, it was like he was giving out stuff he had at his house, like just like a common cup or something you would have at your house, or something completely common. He was just giving out stuff like that. Like, it wasn't fancy gifts you would expect, like, to be given on Christmas. Like, it wasn't really toys or anything. It was like normal stuff you would have at your house. And when this guy woke up, in my dream, this guy didn't do Christmas either. And because he knew Christmas was wrong, because the Bible teaches us that Christmas is not right. And so this guy in my dream, he like sits up in his bed, and he's like, immediately he's like, why did I dream that? Like, that is so random. Why would I dream that? Like, it didn't make any sense. And I'm like now that I've had the dream, because I'm the one that had the dream, I'm like, it don't make sense either. Why would someone that A, doesn't celebrate Christmas, B, knows Christmas is wrong, have a dream about like being dressed up as Santa Claus and giving away all your stuff? But like I said, he was giving away like normal stuff you'd have in your house, like cups, like just normal stuff, like normal stuff you'd have in your house. He'd give away. It's not like he was giving away fancy toys or anything. So in my dream, this guy sits up and he's like, I don't know why I had that dream. Like, it's just so random. Because just like me, this guy did not celebrate Christmas either because he knew it was bad. And he's like, I don't know why I would dream that. So immediately in my dream, this guy like just like starts pretty much asking God. He's like, God, why did I dream that? It don't make any sense. He's like, God, why did I dream this? Like, it don't make any sense. And he's just like kind of asking God, like, please help me. Like, I don't know why I dreamt that. Like, it makes no sense. So in my dream, this guy is just like thinking about the dream he had, and then God just like immediately just like hits him. Just like immediately, like he can hear God's voice, it hits him. And God tells him to go inside his house and bring his bed outside onto his lawn. Yeah, completely random. Like, you're just sitting there, and all of a sudden God tells you, bring your bed outside. And in my dream, this guy's like, okay, I'm gonna listen. But in my dream, he had like a bigger bed. Like, it was almost like a king-size bed. Like, it was pretty big. And in my dream, he just listens to God, and he eventually, it took him a little bit because he had a bigger bed, but he got his bed outside on the lawn. So right after he got his bed outside on the lawn, God spoke to him again, but this time he said, go get the most expensive thing in your house. And in my dream, this guy, the most expensive thing he owned, I believe, was a PlayStation. So he went and got it and brought it outside, just like God said. And then after he got the PlayStation, God said, wrap your bed. Like, he meant wrap it up again, like wrapping paper. And like, this guy's just thinking, he's like, that's gonna take a while probably, because like he had a pretty big bed. And so this guy's like, I'm just gonna listen. He's like, I don't know why God wants me to do this. And in my dream, he was thinking that it's hot outside, because in my dream it was a hot day, like 70 degrees. I don't know why, but it was hot in my dream. And this guy, he's like, it's pretty hot outside, and he's like, I don't know, wrapping a bed outside was a good idea. Like, he was kind of wishing God would have told him that before he brought it outside, because it was so hot. But in my dream, this is like word on word what he said. He said, it doesn't matter how hot it is, because God will protect him from the heat. And I'm just like, that's crazy he would say that, because not a lot of people take that in consideration, that God is there no matter what. He will protect you no matter what, whether it's from the heat, whatever it is, God will protect you. And some people tend to forget that. But in my dream, this guy did not forget that. He knew that even though it was hot outside, that God would protect him and not let him fall to dehydration or whatever. Which is how we should all be thinking, that God will protect us no matter what. So in my dream, he goes inside, and he got some old wrapping paper he had from like some maybe birthdays or something, and he went and got it, and he didn't have too much. He had like a roll and a half, and he was thinking this probably isn't enough to cover this whole bed, because like I said, it was big, and God wanted him to cover the whole bed, the whole thing. He wanted it to be covered in wrapping paper. So he starts wrapping this bed, and he's almost finished wrapping it. And as soon as he was almost finished, he noticed he was almost out. And he's like, this sucks, because he was so close to wrapping the whole bed, and he just had like a little bit left, and now he has to go to the store and get more. Because he's like, I'm going to be obedient to God. I'm going to do what God's telling me. He's like, I'm just going to do what God's telling me. So he like just sits down. He's just like taking a rest right now, and he just kind of like disappointed he didn't have enough wrapping paper to wrap the whole bed. So in my dream, he like stands up, and he's like about to go to the store to get more wrapping paper. So he's going, and he starts wrapping the bed again with the little wrapping paper he has left. Like, he doesn't have much, and like right after this, he was gonna go to the store and buy more. And then this lady, his neighbor, it was actually his neighbor in my dream, looks outside her window and just like yells, "What are you doing?" Like, it just, I guess what he was doing looked ridiculous. So he just honestly tells her, he's like, I'm wrapping a bed. I mean, what else is he supposed to say? He just honestly tells her, he's like, I'm wrapping a bed. And this lady walks outside, and all of a sudden this lady walks outside, and he's like, she's asked him, are you selling it? He's like, I'm not selling the bed. And she's like, are you giving it away? He's like, and in my dream he just said maybe. That's what he said. He said maybe. And then in his dream, God hit him again, and God said, show her the drawer on the back of your bed. And he's like, there's a drawer on the back of my bed, like on the very back of the bed, there was a drawer. And it was a pretty big drawer. And he's like, I didn't even know this bed had a drawer on the back. Like, that's just such an odd place to put a drawer. And then the lady just like kind of just like looks at him like almost like shocked. And this was his neighbor, by the way. And she's like, can I buy this bed from you? She's like, I don't have much money. She's like, the most I could probably give you is like $25. And he's like, you want this bed? And he's just like, what's going on? Like, he's confused what's going on. And this lady starts telling him, he's like, my son has autism. And every time he gets upset, he always runs and hides behind his bed. But he gets even more upset because he doesn't have his blanket. And she's like telling him his blanket's almost like a comfort thing. Like, he gets comforted by his blanket. And that's very common for people that have autism. They have like a comfort thing. Like, it could be different things like a stuffed animal, but for the most common usually is a blanket. So in the dream, his lady's just telling him, he's like, my son has autism, and every time he cries and gets upset, he runs and hides behind his bed. And he always wants his blanket, but if he doesn't have his blanket, he just gets more upset. And she's like, this way, I can put his blanket in that drawer, and every time he went to hide, his blanket would automatically be there, and I wouldn't have to worry about him being upset about his blanket. And he's like, this would help so much. He's like, I've been wanting to get him like a bed like this, but I haven't had the money. And he's like, oh. And then like God just like hits him again. And he's like, give her the bed. He's like, give her the bed. And he's like, hey, you want the bed? He's like, you can have it for free. And she's like, I can? Like, she's just like ecstatic. And then right after he gave her the bed, right after, God hit him again. And he was just like, and God told him to get all this stuff out of his house. Like, it was different things. And God had told him to put them outside in like a certain order, like a specific order. And he's just being obedient. He's just listening. And just like the Bible says, it says the more you give, the more you receive. And I felt like that was just a perfect saying for this dream. And in my dream, he's just listening to God, and he gets out the rest of the stuff God told him. God had just told him to grab random things, like different things in his house. It wasn't random because God always has a plan, but just different things in his house, like just common things you'd have. And God told him to put them in his yard in a certain order. And so this car pulls up. After he was still bringing stuff outside that God had told him. This car pulls up, and it's a black car, maybe like a family of 4 bigger. And this family walks out. And right before his family had got here, God had told him to put a sign outside, almost like a garage sale sign. Like, I believe that's what it was. It was almost like a garage sale sign. Like when you're doing a garage sale and you're selling a bunch of different stuff that you have that you no longer want. That's what it looked like in my dream. But in my dream, God told him to write free on the sign. He didn't say, I'm for sale. He said, put free. So this guy is obedient, and he takes a sign that he would use for a garage sale, and he writes free on it. And he puts it in his yard. And after he did it, this black car drove up. And this family gets out. Like I said, it was like a family of 4, maybe 6 people. And they're like, what's going on? Like, they're confused why the sign said free. Like, they're just confused. They're like, your sign said free. Like, what's going on? Like, they're confused. And he's like, and he just like answers them like a nice person. He's like, oh, just thought I might give away some things today. Or like something to that effect he said in my dream. He was like, I just thought I'd give away some things today. And this lady's walking around, and he sees the PlayStation. Because remember, God told him to get the most expensive thing out of his house. And it happened to be the PlayStation. That's what it was in the dream. And they had a kid with them. They had a boy. And he's like, oh my gosh, like, they're like almost freaking out over this PlayStation. And I'm like, we don't understand what's such a big deal about this PlayStation. So they tell him that they recently were just at the store and we're gonna buy him a PlayStation because he's been wanting one for a really long time, and they never really had money to buy expensive, nice gifts for their kids. And he's been wanting a PlayStation for a really, really long time. And they said that they almost bought it. Like, they're not joking. Like, they were really close to buying it. But they chose last second not to buy it because that would have been almost all their money, and they would have been struggling for, like, food. Like, it was that bad. And they said that they decided not to buy it, like, last second because they would have been struggling for, like, food and stuff. And he is like, oh, well, you can have it. Like, he was just telling me, like, you can have the PlayStation. It's free. And they're like, oh my gosh, like, they're like freaking out because they have never, like, this family had never had like enough money to buy their kids such a nice gift, like a PlayStation. And they were just so ecstatic. Like, it was just like it just like made my heart just like feel good. Like, it was just awesome. And that was it. That was the whole dream. That was the entire dream. The dream, I guess, was about giving. And I mean, that's what it felt like to me. I feel like the message was, like, if you have a lot of money, give. Like, don't be greedy with it. Like, give if you can. Like, I'm very blessed in my life. I have everything I need, probably more than what I need. Like, I'm very, very blessed. And I hope this video has blessed your day. I don't know who needed to hear that, but the message God wanted to give out was give if you can, and if you can't, don't feel bad about asking people that do have a little more than you. Like, don't feel bad. Don't. Well, thanks for watching. Like, this is just an amazing dream. All the dreams I get from God are a blessing, and whoever needed to hear this, I hope this really helped you. Just whoever needed to hear this. And thanks for watching, and I guess bye for now.